So today I'm back inside because it's pretty miserable outside again. It's not raining, it's not sunny out, it's just misty. It's just kind of weird out. So anyway, so today's vlog I'm calling Grow Through What You Go Through. You've probably heard that before, right? And the idea behind this is I want to get your brains pumping and get the ideas flowing about how you were able to get through problems, pain, whatever it was in the past, and use that through whatever you might currently be going through. So I have a couple questions to ask you just to help you start formulating ideas about this. So, how have you grown from your pain? And you're probably going to say, well, I haven't. Well, you have. Because, there's that saying, so far, you've survived 100% of your worst days. And if you've been through something in the past, painful, whatever it was, and you're on the other side of it, then you have, right? So, how have you grown from your pain? Okay, next question. What event was painful, but you were able to grow through it? Try to remember what skills and gifts that you used while you were going through that to help you make it to the other side, help you make it through. What did you learn about yourself? Very important. What did you learn about yourself? And you learned something. I didn't know I was as strong as this. I didn't know I was as determined as this. I didn't know I was as smart, which you are all those things. But what did going through those events in the past teach you about yourself and who you really are? So lastly, I want to ask if you're currently going through something. What are you going through right now that you could really use help with? It could be something painful. It could be the loss of a job, or maybe you want to change careers, or maybe you want to get, you haven't worked and you want to get back in the workplace. Maybe you're going through something harder. Maybe you're going through, something real painful, the loss of a loved one. Maybe you're going through not being able to get pregnant, or you've tried and you're having some issues getting pregnant. For me, obviously, any of you who have watched my vlog before know that I went through 10 years of infertility before I was finally able to get pregnant with my son. And I had stage 4 endometriosis, and I had surgery, and it came back again as stage 4 endometriosis, and I had another surgery. And what did I learn about myself going through all that pain? I learned I am one strong mother. Because not until you're actually going through it do you realize all these strengths and gifts that you possessed. I mean, it's not fun to have to go through these things to find out who you are at your core, but it sure is a life lesson as to who you really are. And for me, I found out how strong and determined I was, and how I wasn't going to let anybody dictate what I could or couldn't do. In my case, the doctors told me I would never get pregnant. And I remember thinking, we'll see about that. We'll see. And obviously I did. And I got pregnant with my son. So what are you currently going through? So what we're going to use is the 3-step process. 3 steps, 3 questions to ask, very simple. But it just helps your brain to start flowing and to remind you of what you've been through, how you got through it, and how to use it currently. So the first question you'll ask is, what worked well in that past experience? What worked well in that painful situation, or whatever it was, fight or losing a job, whatever your current situation was, what that situation was in the past, what worked well? What helped you get through that? Try to remember what helped you get through that. The second question, why did it work well for you? Why did it work well for you? And what I'm asking you really to clarify is, what were your strengths and your gifts that you possess that helped you get through that. Because we're all unique, and we all have, our strengths and gifts. But we just got to remember that, because so many times we're in these situations and we lose sight of that. And we think we're not that strong or not that brave or whatever it is, but we are. So remember what worked for you in the past. What were your skills? What were your strengths, your gifts that you used to beat whatever that was? The last question, after, figuring that out and coming up with some ideas, how can you use those strengths and those gifts to achieve your current goal? So how do you take what worked well in that situation and plug it into this current situation to get you through to the other side? And it seems simple and difficult all at the same time, right? Because oftentimes, I've talked about this, we don't see ourselves for who we really are. We don't see the best in ourselves. We don't see all these gifts we possess, right? But I think looking back and actually saying, oh shit, yeah, like I was, strong or tough or, determined. I didn't let anybody dictate for me what's going to happen or not happen. This is my life. We got to remember these things and just use that formula again and know that these are your strengths and use them. So remember what those were and plug them into this situation. We all experience pain. And if you say you haven't, then maybe you're living in a bubble or maybe you can tell me how that's possible. It's part of life and it's okay. It's more about how we deal with it and how we get through it and how we push through it. That's important because, we live on this earth. It's going to happen. It's just the way it is. But it's important to remember how we got through it and to keep pushing through it and to keep pushing until we get to that goal, whatever that goal is. Big goal, little goal, doesn't matter as long as you're setting goals for yourself. How did you get there? How did you get through the pain before? How can we currently use that again? I know it works for me, especially when I have little things going on that are frustrating to me. I look back at that and how hard and devastating all that was back then when I was trying to get pregnant. And I think if I lived through that and I used all my gifts and strengths for that, this is a nothing thing, right? This I can get through. If I was strong enough to get through that, I can kick ass in anything now. I got this. So 3 easy questions, right? 3-step process. What worked well in the past experience? Why did it work well? What were your strengths and your gifts that you possessed? How can you use your strengths and your gifts to achieve your current goal? And try it out. See if it works for you guys. Let me know. I wish you blessings and whatever you're trying to get through, because I know it can be hard and we're hard on ourselves. So I wish you guys nothing but the best and whatever's going on. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.